Hey everyone, welcome to our live session today on what is professional services and what value does it bring for businesses. I'm really excited to welcome our Miraplex team, Jesse Mallory, Director of Professional Services at Miraplex, Nick Wade, Network Administrator, and Jackson Williams, System Administrator. Jesse, I'm going to kick it off to you.
All right, guys. Well, everyone, thanks for being here. I'd like to talk today about, what is professional services? I get asked that question a lot. What does that mean in the IT world? And we're here today to talk about that and, cover some of the items that we take care of on my team. A lot of people think that professional services in IT is only projects. And where that is a big piece of our team, we can help you with a project. We can come in and fully turnkey a project for you. We also do a lot of consulting. Hey, we need help with this. This isn't something we do all the time. This is something that Miraplex does all the time, but an upgrade that we may do only once every 5 years. And we just want that expertise, and to feel better about having an expert there along the way to make sure nothing goes sideways. So I have a couple of my team members here today, Nick Wade and Jackson Williams on the network and the system side to go over, ways that we can help your business, things we're seeing our customers ask for right now, and give some more clarity to what professional services is in the IT world. So with that, Nick, I'll kick it over to you and let you start.
Okay, we kind of skipped over this slide a little bit, but I'll start talking about my favorite topic, which is SIP voice and our beautiful UCaaS platform. So we are a full-on SIP provider, so we can deliver you a SIP trunk to and if we're getting a little technical, I know, but drop it directly off to a Cisco router for a call manager deployment with Cisco, or translate that to another type of system. But our favorite thing to do is UCaaS, where you don't need any supporting infrastructure on your side. That's all in-house with us, cloud connected. All you need is an internet connection and some power, and you'll be having phone calls, no problem. But we like to go and find solutions wherever they may be hiding. So we've worked with customers in the past that, they need an ally that's going to be able to come in and take their systems that we don't necessarily sell or support and get them connected to another vendor provider along the road. We've done that several times, myself many times, and those are always a journey because you never know what you're walking into, and you get to learn a lot and make great connections and build trust throughout it as well.
Nick, when you say we can deliver SIP, explain to the customers what that means. What does it mean when we also provide the dial tone and how that can help them support their voice infrastructure?
Right. So instead of having to deal with big names like CenturyLink or AT&T, you can talk to me directly or one of our service desk guys to have a person to call when there's an actual phone issue. Delivering SIP means that we are your actual phone provider, just like T-Mobile or AT&T or CenturyLink would be, transit carriers or another type of carrier that would traditionally deliver you a phone call, an actual dial tone. We can do that on our own network, which gives us a lot of flexibility. So we could port your existing numbers directly to our cloud platform without any major risk or anything. So great. It's a great question.
Perfect.
So any other notes on voice side? Call manager upgrades, something we also love to do, but UCaaS is the future, obviously, where you don't have to worry about that project, that upgrade or maintenance worries.
Yeah, and we're seeing that right now in the market. Right now, we have a lot of customers that are sticking with their traditional PBX systems, their Cisco call manager, publisher, subscriber systems, but seeing people move more toward UCaaS in the future. So right now we have a hybrid where if you'd like to upgrade your Cisco call manager and have us along to help you get there, we're happy to do that. Or if you're interested in looking at going to a UCaaS platform, more subscription-based voice with, less strain and resource on your internal network voice teams, then, we're happy to help you with that as well.
Absolutely. Going to touch base on the network side, which is my favorite thing to do aside from voice. Voice is everybody's favorite because everybody touches it, but you really have to have a solid foundation on your network and your overall network and security strategy to make these awesome products successful throughout the life cycle, right? And I like that I have Jackson here. We work together every day on various customers and designs, and all the way from the pre-sales process. Someone comes and gives us a call saying, we need to figure out something that has been causing us pain for the last 5 years. We can't figure it out. We need some experts. I can say, well, I may not know a lot about Nimbles, but I know just the guy, and his name happens to be Jackson, right? That's one of my favorite things about working here, especially in the professional services team, is we have this deep collaboration between our network and system sides. So I know I'm going to be designing the best network for his servers for you, right? So you have a fully converged design across the span. Do you have any other points on that collaboration, Jackson, that you want to touch on? Or
yeah, it's really nice to be able to work as a team to deliver the best possible solution to whatever the customer's problem is, whether it's a simple VMware upgrade and you find some misconfigurations along the way, or it's a greenfield deployment of net new everything. And that the power that brings from the team is you're not stuck waiting for another group to get in touch with an engineer.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've seen a lot of this lately, guys. We're getting a lot of requests from customers right now that say, hey, we just want to get some, block time, buy some hours for your team to come out, look at my network, assess what we have, see where we're at, and give us recommendations on how to move forward. And that's something that we do all the time where, hey, the customer doesn't know if their equipment's end of life or if it's still supported, or we can come in, do a deep dive on your network, make recommendations, layer 1 through 7 on how we can help you get to where you want to be and fit it with inside a budget that works for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you come from, can this thing even get the latest, greatest license or firmware version, or is this going to be okay for the next year or two, or when are we looking at upgrading?
Absolutely. That's a great point.
Yeah, and that kind of touches on the next point I wanted to get onto on the holistic network design that we have the ability to, Jackson briefly touched on greenfield and brownfield. And for those that aren't aware, the greenfield just means we're coming into your environment and you want us to stand everything up from scratch, like brand new turnkey solution. And then a brownfield deployment would be somewhere along the lines of, this is what we've got. We need to work in our budget and, make sure we replace the things that really need to be replaced first before we start tackling, the nice to replace, kind of do some risk management on the network side as we go forward. So if that clarifies those terms a little bit, I think that'll help the conversation moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Nick, we're seeing a lot of that where some, customers don't have an IT department and just overwhelmed on where to even begin with some of these big projects. So us coming in on the front side, working with our sales team to design the solution that you are actually looking for, and giving you the good feeling of knowing you're getting exactly what you're looking for ahead of time is very valuable to part of how we do this.
Absolutely. Especially we have multiple customers with an extremely lean IT staff, that it's awesome to come in and we have the resources already, and we can bring our knowledge and help them in the 1-2 things that they need right now to stay afloat and keep everything rolling. It always is. It's a wonderful time working with customers like that because we really build a strong partnership, not just, oh, we did this one thing for you and now we're done. It's always a ongoing commitment to service.
Yeah. So we got a question here below. How do I go about engaging professional services at Miraplex? Which is a great question. I believe you just send an email into connect@miraplex.com. You can call us at our main number. You can look us up on our website. Let them know that you're interested. You saw this video. You want to have a talk with our team about, any potential where we can help you, and we'd be glad to help.
Absolutely. The other 2 points I wanted to touch on briefly here. We are the premier SD-WAN partner. I'm going to say it full stop. I think it's the best product out there in the market for resilient, redundant networks that will last you and grow with you as time goes on. Especially if you're moving from MPLS, you're talking thousands a month. Now you're looking at, okay, can we get some cheaper broadband, direct internet access, $100 a month kind of circuits, and leverage them the same way we were these $1,000 a month MPLS circuits. So that value add comes in with the design as well. We have the expertise piece and the tools and partnerships to really come in and make that an effective solution. We've seen other non-SD-WAN, deployments that we've had to come in and help revitalize with our SD-WAN product with VMware.
Absolutely.
On top of that, we're not just talking about the edge or the LAN side. We talk about core large-scale networks, multi-site international networks that we have to figure out challenges from going to, Perth, Australia, to Beijing, to Houston, to New York. How do you mitigate the latency between Perth and New York because they're on the opposite sides of the world, and keep your users in Perth connecting with your servers in New York and Houston? It's a wonderful challenge that I always love to rise to, finding those unique solutions as we go forward.
Absolutely.
Any other questions on that front, Jesse or Jackson?
No, I'm good on that one. Let's move on to the next slide.
Throwing it over to Jackson now for some server details.
So we've already kind of touched on it a little bit. What I do here for Meriplex and the professional services team is I help with VMware server deployments using HP hardware with Nimble storage and HP servers. I'll do things from, as we touched on earlier, a brownfield deployment. Hey, I've got this old server, a couple versions behind, need some help, firmware's out of date. Help us get on the latest so you're not so open to security threats. Or, hey, our equipment's 10 years old, it's time for all new stuff. So I'll work with Nick to design a network that can reliably transmit all the data back and forth, and then pick out and spec the servers and the nibble, and help deliver a product that's going to set you up for the next 5 to 7 years. And, at the end of it, you end up with hopefully a network that is resilient and a server infrastructure that is resilient. And lights just went off on me. And then beyond all that, I'll help stand up actual Windows Server infrastructure, Active Directory, DNS, all that kind of jazz. And that kind of blends into the Office 365 migrations that we're seeing a lot of these days.
Absolutely, Jackson. I mean, these are coming all the time. Everyone's going subscription based, so moving your Office 365 migration to the cloud, different areas, and a lot of other infrastructure follows with that. So can you tie into that a little bit?
Yeah. So as everybody knows, Microsoft is always changing the ballgame for us, and so we're constantly having to adjust to what they give us. And so we're now busy doing things like getting off of Exchange 2010 and getting the data into the cloud. So rather than have to worry about doing that yourself, you can engage us to help do that for you. And we've done enough of these where we're well aware of all the little hiccups and gotchas that are out there, especially coming from older versions, even like 2007 Exchange or 2003, if that's where you're currently stuck at. So leveraging that knowledge and leveraging that experience helps you get out of your on-prem quicker so you can go on to other things that are bothering you.
Absolutely.
So now that you're in the cloud, we can touch on some of the other things we've been doing. There's the entire back end of Microsoft 365 with Azure AD is a wealth of value add options that you might already be paying for with your 365 licenses. And so we've been helping customers leverage their existing Azure AD infrastructure and doing things such as Intune deployments, hybrid 365 on-prem AD setups, and really just setting the customer up for a more resilient, better future that as the world changes around you, you're set up to drop your infrastructure fully and go to the cloud and possibly.
Absolutely. Hey, Jackson, real quick, sorry to interrupt you on the Intune deployment. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because that's something we're seeing pick up a lot, and it's a really cool technology that I think a lot of people will start to take advantage of, and we're going to start seeing more and more of it.
Sure. Well, I'll take a step back. Azure AD is Azure on steroids. It's your information identity management platform. It does single sign-on. It does multi-factor authentication. So it's what Microsoft Active Directory is going to be in the future. It's just the future. So in the on-prem world, you had such things as group policy objects and services. So Intune is the evolution of that. So you're taking your GPOs and all those settings that you used to deploying locally, and you're now lifting that into the cloud. So you're able to manage a fleet of devices from a cloud portal. You'll be able to push out policy updates, changes to the configurations. You need new Wi-Fi policies pushed down. You want to lock out certain users. You can do all that through Intune. And then another nifty thing of Intune is a system called Autopilot that you can enroll your devices in and essentially re-image the devices anywhere in the world with the click of a button. Well, 3 clicks of a button technically, but that allows you to better have a better lifecycle management of your devices. You don't have to physically touch everything if you don't really want to. Like I said, it's just taking what Microsoft has already been building and moving it into the cloud and preparing it for a workforce of the future, which we're currently seeing today. You know, everybody's remote. How do you manage that? You can't do group policy objects if they're not on the VPN. Well, they don't have the VPN. Microsoft Intune and Azure AD help solve some of those problems that you might be doing
Absolutely.
in the workforce. And then kind of dropping back down here on the slide to it's a little bit more legacy is the Windows 10 Golden Image. So if you're not wanting to go to the cloud right now, you don't feel comfortable enough, or you don't think it's cost effective for you and you're staying on-prem, a good way to help get the most value out of your computers and your time is to build a golden image. And we've been doing this for a lot of customers. We'll do desktop as a service projects where we'll work with you and build a golden image onto your machines that meets your standards and is easily deployable so that you have the same uniform image across your entire fleet. And that helps you simplify your IT management. You don't have to worry about, oh, this has this stuff on it. Oh, we got this older version of Office. We help you build an image that is easily updatable, easily maintainable, and easily deployable.
Absolutely. And comes with all of the software that you're looking for, right off the bat. All right, another question here. Has Miraplex performed nationwide deployments? Absolutely. So we've done many nationwide deployments where, as some of what Jackson was just saying, where we have, desktop as a service, laptops were imaging here, shipping out across the country, to network deployments that span across the country, where we have a field services team that I'll get into shortly, where we are out across the country, rack and stacking, new cabling, complete infrastructure, the whole 9 yards all across the country. We are set up for that and currently doing that right now. You guys got anything to add to that?
We're also currently helping customers do Intune and Azure AD deployments worldwide, technically.
Yeah, absolutely, internationally.
Yeah, and just on the network side, we've done nationwide deployments and beyond. We've worked with customers, again, all over the world, but we've done lots of high concentrated market deployments for a particular customer where it takes all of us and even the cabling team, which I know we're going to touch on in a little bit here, but pulling all networks out and building resilient branches as well as data centers and cores all the way down the stack.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, so here's a slide showing, the whole ecosystem that we have professional services. It starts with our structured cabling team that we have that, prides themselves on standardizing your locations. You have 15, 50, 30, they will all look the same. We have the same racks, the same port mapping, the same cabling, all the way from top to bottom, keeps it seamless, and we have them deploying different pieces of technology all across the country for our customers right now. And that a lot of times at the same time, a network upgrade is going on as well. A complete route switch install, a complete deployment. We touched on servers and desktops already and how that moves into the cloud. And what we haven't touched on much is security, but we do massive firewall deployments. We have customers with many firewalls, very resilient, redundant firewall rings, and we also do network security assessments and configurations. So this slide here kind of ties it all together, that everything we do in our team, we have people that are, a system expert in each one of these disciplines, all working together, whiteboarding the solution to come up with exactly what fits your business needs.
I think that's part of the key here is we all work together to achieve the best solution for you.
Absolutely.
And supportability wise, we have an open door back and forth.
Absolutely. All right, so why choose us at Miraplex? It's a lot of the things we've all just talked about, right? The complete installation, the team implementing is the team that helped you design it, which is, so important. You get exactly what you want along the way. Our advanced expertise, we have done this. This is what we do all the time. This is the stuff that our team is trained in, that a corporate IT infrastructure may only see once every 5 years. And then how we partner with you to be an extension of your team. We can come in a co-managed environment and work with your team, not overstepping our boundaries or doing too much, just helping you get to where you want to be. All right, Nick, you have anything to add on this slide?
I think as you touched on the business partner, I think we can go a little bit further in that too. I mean, we've gone so far as to get Miraplex resources on site permanently at some of our customer locations that I haven't seen in the enterprise space in a long time, or the MSP
Absolutely.
world. But it really leverages that layer of partnership. Not only do we have our high-end resources in the office working on your stuff and design and your overall roadmap, but we can also have, IT quick questions. We need some more dedicated resources and time given to your particular pain points and issues, so we can all have a better sleep, the next day.
Absolutely.
When everything's solved.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
All right, guys, and right now our sales team is running a promotion on a professional services block where you can receive a 15% discount for buying a 100-hour block, where my team can come out, do an assessment, work on any of these projects we talked about, and we'd love to help you with any of the IT projects you have going on. And if you'd like to learn more, you can reach out to me at connect@miraplex.com, and I'd love to talk to you about it and see where we can help you.
And build something really cool and fun together. I think that'd be great.
Absolutely. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for joining. I'd like to thank Nick and Jackson and Macy for putting this on, and I will talk to you guys in the future, hopefully. Thank you very much.